to be called an African. Today's session, we'll be talking about PMI-CP, Project Management Institute Construction Professional. And it's going to be the 24th edition of my session, Giving Back to the Society, power session with Jumoke, which is free. I use the opportunity to talk about project management, provide support to as many that would need it. I am committed towards helping individuals, especially in Africa, becoming certified and applying their skills and knowledge to their work so that it makes life easier for them and then they achieve better results. And in our little corners, we will be contributing to the success of our projects as managed in our continent. So the objectives of this session is one, to increase complexity of construction projects, to increase how you manage complex construction projects globally, and as well as emphasizing your role in professionalizing project delivery in construction. I tell people when they are complaining, my management is like this, my stakeholders are like this. The reason why people spend money on projects is to achieve value, to get something that will give them competitive advantage. So you cannot be spending money, you cannot be spending time and not have an edge over those that are not spending money. And if you're also an individual, what sets you apart from your colleagues is that value that you bring to organization, the value you bring to your team. That is what endears you to the organization. Aside that, there's nothing, management, they are concerned about bottom line. And you would appreciate this when you own a business, because you pay taxes, you pay salaries, you pay interest on maybe on loan. You will not have room to be thinking about, so you didn't greet me, and so you didn't know that I was tired. You see, so you need to balance also. PMI-CP seeks to give you that edge, give you that advantage, seek to position you that if you are in a mix of other project managers, you'll stand out. But the focus of CP is on construction or built environment. Okay. So today's agenda, we'll look at what is PMI-CP and why it matters. Who should pursue it? How do you qualify to write PMI-CP? And how do you prepare for it? And then we'll look at the exam format and learning path, as well as real benefits for your career and your organization. This you can scan to chat with me. Oh, this is for my channel. Okay, I meant to share the QR code for you to be able to chat, but it's okay. I'm sure you can always get a way to chat with me if you want to. Construction is no longer just about structures. It is about integrating time, cost, safety, sustainability, and collaboration across disciplines. PMI-CP is PMI's strategic response to this evolution. And it's not surprising, PMI has come up with another certification that focuses on sustainability. It's not enough. We move from just defining project management as application of tools, techniques, knowledge to the project objectives to be able to achieve the deliverables. To, after you achieve the deliverables, you must be mindful of the value that you are going to get from the deliverables, and that becomes outcomes. Now, that is not enough. It's how sustainable this value that you are getting from the deliverables would be. So PMI-CP is a robust package that would help you as a professional in the built environment to be able to achieve this and more. So what is PMI-CP? PMI launched PMI-CP to address industry-specific needs in construction. I remember in 2022, when it first came, I was the president of PMI Ghana then. They looked for opportunity to speak to members, but I think we were so engrossed in the PMP being what we know. And if you actually look at the basket of PMI certifications, PMP is there and the others are just coming. So it was introduced. We were told it came as a result of research, and as well as needs of professionals managing complex infrastructure, construction, or build projects. And so they needed something more robust than just PMP. So that was what birthed PMI-CP. It's based on real-world construction project challenges. And when you start the course, there are 4 models. You realize that even the examples they are giving that are in the models, they are real life. They are not, if you're in Ghana, 10,000, 20,000 Ghana CD worth of projects, or if you're in Nigeria, 1 million or 2 million Naira project. They are complex projects that, that the success of the project is essential, because if it fails, then it will be a waste of lots of money. So PMI-CP, I almost said PMP. PMI-CP is designed for project managers, engineers, architects, and contract managers managing complex capital projects. Today, when I posted this training, this session in one of the groups I belong to, somebody said that it was picked from oil and gas. I won't say it was picked from oil and gas, but I will say that whatever you learn, whatever knowledge or skills that you learn from CP is applicable to built industry. And I am so sure that whatever you are going to apply it to in oil and gas, or in construction, or in infrastructure, would fall under one or more of the models. Maybe contracts, maybe scope definition, maybe risk, maybe change, interfaces. So yeah, if it is complex projects and capital intensive, you are likely going to use CP. So we are not talking of adaptive. Having adaptive knowledge, or Agile or Scrum could be helpful, but we know that capital intensive projects are managed predictively. Okay. So the competencies that PMI-CP covers: construction projects delivery, scope and change management, contract and risk management, health, safety, environment and quality, technology and innovation in construction. So when you're using interfaces, you're talking about PMI, project management information system, how to relate, because communication is very key. How to ensure that let's say you are managing projects in 5 African countries, Ghana, Nigeria, maybe Kenya, Togo, like that. You can't be submitting information through emails or hard copies. You need to have interfaces. And so communication is key to ensure that everyone, as much as possible, would have the same understanding of what the project is achieving, of what the project has achieved, of where you are, what the risk situation is, what the quality situation is, what are the changes that have occurred, and all that. And for you to have that in real time, it will be through interfaces. And of course, stakeholder and communication management. Stakeholder. Sometimes stakeholders can be difficult. Even you, the person that is saying someone is difficult, you can be difficult. How much more someone that has given out money for project? Of course, they want to ensure that their project is delivering on the investment. So why would you need to go into PMI-CP? Now, I think I mentioned this last week, but let me say it quickly. PMP, when people ask me, Jumoke, what should I go for? I tell them, go for PMP first. If you have the money, go for PMP first. Why? PMP kind of introduces you to almost everything. If you have done risk management professional, you realize that I've done part of it in PMP. If you did ACP, especially for those who are doing their PMP now, you would have done a bit of Agile in PMP. If you did PMO, you would have done a bit of PMO in the PMP. And if you did PMP, the aspect of the CP, contract, communication, stakeholder engagement, change management, you would have done it a bit in PMP. So when you now do the specialized courses like the risk management professional, the CP, the PBA, the PMO, all those things, those are specialized. It's like, this, but you want to build muscles in certain aspects of the PMP. This thing that I'm saying, it is me. That's what I feel. You may feel differently. Okay. So why is PMI-CP? One, it bridges the gap between general project management and construction realities, like what I said. So you have PMP certification. If you did PMI-CP, it will break the gap. Maybe you didn't do interfaces in PMP, or communication is not that broad because you're not looking at complex projects in PMP, then the PMI-CP would help you. It will help focus on construction. Everything you are doing is construction. So if you are not in construction, or you are not in built environment, or you are not an architect, don't do it. Because it means you'll be, as we say, cramming, memorizing, and it will mess you up. Because the PN, when I was writing the exam, I tell people, I said I was yawning. Because the question is like, you are reading bedtime story to your children. It is long, so if you don't have first-hand experience about construction, it may mess you up. 2, PMI-CP would validate your competence in managing large, multi-stakeholder, high-risk projects, which is different from PMP. And then 3, it is recognized globally. I don't think we are even up to 200 in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa that has a PMI-CP. But whatever it is, it's a globally recognized certification like PMP. It demonstrates construction leadership readiness. Okay. And 4, why PMI-CP? It supports organizations in achieving project governance and compliance. It's likely going to increase the chances or the probability or the likelihood of your complex project being successful. And actually, it increases your marketability. Okay, because then it means you can, for those that wants to do remote or JAPA. So think of PMI-CP as what PMP is to general project management. But PMI-CP is like a laser focus. You see, when surgeons, when they want to perform surgery, they wear this headlamp, that focuses on the area they are going to perform the surgery. So this is PMI-CP, and it's focusing on construction. Construction. It's not looking at any other project, but construction. So it helps in achieving excellence, right? So what are the requirements? You may be wondering, what do I need to write the PMI-CP? 1, I want to let you know that you don't need to write PMP. You don't need to have any other certification. I know people who do not have any of PMI certifications, and boom, they did a PMI-CP. And after they've done the PMI-CP, some of them now want to write the PMP. But to write the CP, you don't need PMP. You can just start. But you need to meet certain experience. You must prove that you have construction experience, that you are working or you have worked in that environment. And then you need to complete the 4 modules. You see what the 4 modules are and their corresponding fee. You can do the e-learning so that you don't pay for training fee. But I have realized that it is easier when you have an instructor led taking you through the 4 modules. So the choice is yours. You can decide, okay, I'm going to go to PMI's website and pay for the 4 modules, blah, 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 blah. It's $346. And then I don't want to pay for any instructor. Let me read myself. And then when you finish, you pay for the exam, you schedule, and you write. So the requirements, you don't need PMP, but you need to have, I think, 3 years or so of construction project management experience. And then you complete this PMI-CP learning courses, which are 4 modules, before you can pay for the exam and schedule it. Then you pass your PMI-CP exam. And of course, it's online and it's scenario-based. It's different from CAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management, where it's like they're asking you what are defined the advantages, disadvantages. This one is going to paint a scenario for you as a construction manager and a project manager, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do to avoid a scenario and all that? So please, you cannot just memorize. That's just the point. So these are the models. covers communications, contract and risk management, interface management, scope and change management. So I said, okay, because I've realized that we don't like reading. No, look, let me scrap that. Some of us don't like reading. We want information to be brought to us. So I went to the PMI website and I picked this. These are the courses: construction project communications. When you finish this, you will earn 14 PDUs, and the fee, if you are a member, is 139 USD. And if you are not a member, it's $174. When I say this, people go like, how do I, but I've registered. So when you go to PMI portal, there's one that you can become a registered member. Once you have not paid, you are not a member. But once you pay, for PMI Ghana, is 144 USD. Once you pay, you become a member of PMI Global and a PMI Ghana. Then you can pay this 139 for communications, which is the first model. After you finish this first model, there is an online quiz that you must attempt, pass before you can go to the next model. So the second model is interface management course, and that is 69 USD for member of PMI and $104 for non-member. And this is the description: get the required skills to transform the global construction industry and bring large, complex projects to life. And then the third model is construction contract and risk management course. This is going to test your knowledge of risk, how to draw contract, the types of contracts, and their characteristics. So it will help you nail down new contracts and risk management skills. And that is also 69 USD and for member and 104 USD for non-member. And the fourth is construction scope and change order management course. It will help you to understand how to solve the challenges of scope creep and change order. If you have done PMP, you realize that these things are not really strange. The only thing that you may say you have not come across so much is the interface management. But others, you've heard about contracts. You have three types of contract: cost reimbursable, fixed price, and time and material. You know risk, you identify risk, you analyze risk, you come up with response, you monitor and control communications. You know the formula to know the channel of communication. How do you come up with communication? You must know your stakeholders, and then analyze and come, so a bit. But it's just that this, for something that will give you 14 PDUs, each, that it's to take some time. And so the scope to and the change order management is also 69 USD for member and $104 for non-member. All this amount goes to PMI. Does not go to, if you did your course through ATP, it doesn't go to the ATP. You may pay through the ATP. I will tell you why you should pay through your ATP, but the amount goes to PMI. So the total, if you added this 139 plus 69 plus 69 plus 69 for a member, is 346 USD for the courseware only. Then for non-member is 486 USD for the courseware only. If you knew me, you know that I would advocate that I should become member of PMI, because there's more value in you being a member than you not being a member. Now, if you paid for your courseware through ATP, you'll be paying 300 USD instead of 300. No, let me change that. If you pay through us, like OK Valley, you pay $300 instead of 346, because it's not every ATP that is giving the discount. If you have any question, write it when we get to the point you ask. So who should apply? If you're a project manager in construction or real estate and infrastructure, this is for you. If you're an engineer or you're an architect, this is for you. If you're a construction consultant or you're a contract manager, this is for you. And if you are in government and private sector projects, maybe you're an officer there, this is also for you. The requirements: complete the 4 course training modules. You must have 3 years on the job experience in construction, and it must be within the past 10 years. You should not go and bring something that is 25 years ago. These 3 years must be in the last, so this is 2025. It must be from now backward to 2015. It must be within that period. See? So the completion of these 4 courses, the modules we just saw now, could be through you going through it on your own, or you go through it with ATP, that's Authorized Training Partner. My interest actually is not to sell my training to you today. It is to let you understand what the PMI-CP is, and that you can write it and become certified. And we know that in Africa, at least in Africa, the government spends so much on infrastructure, and that is complex projects, you know. And so if you want to create value in our countries, this is one of the areas that we should go into. And of course, if you decide to do it with us, we are happy, okay? So I decided to put all the courses together, because what we saw earlier is just for the courseware. It's 346 USD for member. It is 486 USD for non-member. Then you have the training fee. This is what comes to us if you did your training with us, 5,499 Ghana cedi. If you're in Nigeria, please, I don't know what the rate is. You would have to find out what the rate is. And then the exam fee. See, one of the reasons I say you should become a member is that if you are a member, the exam fee is 279 USD. And if you are not a member, the exam fee is $349. So how much? If you are a member, is 346 plus 279 plus this Ghana cedi. So give you 625, and then 5,499 Ghana cedi. So you have the US dollar component and the local currency. Now, if you are not a member, it will cost you 853 for the module and the exam fee plus the course fee, the training fee. So all these amounts, this goes to PMI, and the cedis come to Okivalu. Now, if you are paying, that is if you are buying the courseware directly, that's when you spend 645. But if you are buying it through the ATP, this 625 will be less $46. Okay. And the exam format is online product exam, a scenario-based questions, real construction project dilemmas, real one. And the duration is 3 hours. Surprisingly, the questions are 120. When I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, there's enough time. 3 hours for 120 questions, or, you know, until I started. Because you can even get carried away by the volume of the text you are reading to answer a question. You know, so complete the PMI-CP models. It can be instructor-led session, join study group. This one, I remember the day I went to write my CP, I joined, and I was so sad the study group did not start early, because I learn better when I hear people explain things, so that when I'm studying, I'll be remembering what the instructor said, and then it will make me go faster. But then I was not feeling well, so I couldn't study well. So I was opportuned 2 days before my exam to hear that the study group was going to treat risk management. So I didn't read about risk and change management. I focused on maybe is it change? I forgot. I focused on the other, and I used the study group session to cover risk, you know, and also use the opportunity to ask questions on gray areas. And then the following day, I went to write the exam, and thankfully I passed. And when I posted it, they were like, oh, wow, so you were writing the exam the following day and all that. So I see the importance of the study group. And also because the exam is relatively new, people have all manner of ideas. Oh, it's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like that. But when you have dedicated study group, it will help you. Some people need constant motivation. It will help you keep you motivated until you write the exam. And if you look at the amount is too much for you to write and go and fail. I mean, like, I did the exam, my daughter was like, well, the way you are feeling, maybe you should postpone it. I said, no, I don't want to postpone it. And at the same time, I said, hey, God, don't let this money go to waste. It's a lot. You converted it into your local currency. You see that it's a lot. So you have to be intentional about it. And then you need to align your learning with your daily construction project experience. So you need to, whatever you are doing, this is a bit risky for us because often what we do does not match the standard that you will see in PMI-CP. But maybe you can ask questions from people that are experienced. And if you join a study group or other groups on LinkedIn, you can drop questions there. You can ask somebody to explain something for you. One of the things you should never do when you are preparing for exam is to be shy, to ask questions. Ask. The worst that can happen is the person will say he or she will not answer. It will not take anything from you. So ask. So in conclusion, PMI-CP is PMI's credential for the built environment. It demonstrates your ability to lead complex construction projects. It positions you for global opportunities in the construction industry. Really, I know people who are writing their CP because they are planning to japa and put them in a better position, on a competitive position. So if you are managing or supporting construction projects, this is your time to differentiate yourself. Let us start your PMI-CP journey today. Now, some people are preparing for the CP and they don't know about this. You can join the PMI-CP certification page on LinkedIn. You can download the PMI-CP handbook, which is a PDF. You can download the construction practice guide. You can study with communities and LinkedIn groups for your PMI-CP. There is this handbook that is a combined one that has all the 4 modules in it. Some of you started the journey in 2022. When it first came, it used to be 7 modules. They've reduced it to 4 modules based on feedback and based on research. So make sure you are using the current handbook. You can download it as many as you want on pmi.org. So with this, I think this is the shortest power session with Jumoke that I've ever had. This is the time for you to ask me your questions on PMI-CP. Thanks for joining. Over to you. Okay, so if you want to chat with me, you can scan this. And if you want to join my WhatsApp channel, you can also scan this. So let's have your, and please follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I am Jumoke Lafenwa on all these platforms. And on TikTok, I'm Jumoke at Jumoke Lafenwa or projects or coach project management. And then you can also follow my company. That's one of the ways you can support what I'm doing. We are OK Valley Limited on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on TikTok, OK Valley Limited. Now, questions. It's important to let me share. I think I have a link. Okay, so all right, keep the question coming. Let me share a link in the chat section for you to fill. I think that one is easier. Fill today. Today. Somebody sent their PMI ID on Friday. After I've uploaded the PDU on, I think I did it on Tuesday. So if you don't send today, help me help you. This is the thing. Yes, any question, please. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
I was about to ask if I'm audible.
Okay, you're very audible. This is Agape Adeyemi from Nigeria. I think I met you during the 20th anniversary PMI Nigeria.
I
Yes.
remember
So,
with my
okay.
attempt of speaking in pidgin.
Thank you. So, well, you've already answered my most concerned question because I wasn't too sure if after paying for the 4 modules, you're going to pay for the exam. You already answered that, so I'm cleared. But from your experience, would you advise I go through a trainer before writing the exam, or I can? Sorry, excuse me. Or do you prefer I go through a trainer, a lead instructor, or can I just read from the resource on the PMI.org? I'm in the built industry, so I have over 15 years work experience, also a PMP certified, so I'm wondering from your own experience and the people you'll be relating with, what would you advise?
To be sincere with you, I did the e-learning. And if you're on the call and you went to Kigali in August, I was studying in Kigali.
Wow.
So when we go and chill, like have fun, I tell myself, hey, you have to go back to your room, study. So I did it on my own. But like I said, then I didn't even know of the ATP to go to. I know in South Africa there's an ATP there, but in Ghana, Nigeria, there was none. One, then two, I had not even made up my mind whether I was going to write or not. So I started the course from Ghana before we went. Then when I finished communication, I said, this course, I don't think, what am I looking for? I already have a couple of certifications. And I was opportune to meet Ricardo in Kigali by chance. And we started talking and was like, oh, you should do it. You should. So that was how the morale came again, and I had to pay for the 3 courses and then completed it in Kigali. So if I got someone to train me, like at Okin, we have Professor Tuli, who is currently handling the PMI-CP. I would love to go for the training because, like I said, I do better when I sit in a class and it's taught than when I'm studying. I can hear the voice, yeah. But if you are disciplined, you can do it on your own. Yeah, it's just that you pay the 346 USD instead of going through an ATP. I don't know how much other ATPs are charging, but for us, because we are Premier ATP, we get some discount and we share that discount with our students. And that, so instead of 346 USD for the 4 coursework, you pay 300 USD for the 4 coursework. And I've shared a link in the chat. Please click on it and provide the information for your PDU if you are interested in
Okay.
PDU. Yeah.
Oh, sure, I am. Thank you
Okay.
so very much. I'm satisfied
Most
with the
welcome.
answers. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I'm a WhatsApp away. If you have any question you want to ask about PMI certifications generally, because that's what I do. That is part of what I do. I do other things than the certifications. And why do I do that? I just feel that if I had gotten such support when I started my journey into certifications, I would have done better, faster than I have done. And so it is my way of giving back, of making the journey easier because I'll just be there, I'll go and look for something. I feel, oh, maybe some people don't know. Then I do it, I put it on my channel, then I forward it. Because if I got people to support and help me like that, I would have gone faster. That is just my motivation, giving back to the society. So just don't send message 1 a.m. your time.
No, I wouldn't. Sorry, I just want to confirm, is this the number on the flyer that you shared? Is that your WhatsApp number that we can reach out to? I'll
The
go through the every channel, LinkedIn. I'll follow you, don't worry. I'll not follow you everywhere. But I just want to
Yeah,
know for WhatsApp chat, is that your number that I can reach out
I
to
think
for
so.
question?
Is there
So
a number
233
there?
something on the flyer. Yes, there is a number on the flyer.
233-244-544-964.
I think so. Just trying
Yeah,
to
it's
look
a
for it.
WhatsApp. So send WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So if you
Thank
send
you.
WhatsApp and I don't respond immediately, I
No,
will
it's okay.
definitely respond. Yeah.
It's okay. If you don't reply immediately, it's okay. I understand that you might be busy or you're not
Okay.
opportune to answer it, but it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so very much. I'm satisfied with the answer. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, any other question, suggestions, clarifications, inputs? As you don't want to ask question, we should go. All right, so before we end the session, please check the link in the chat box. And if you are PMI certified, please complete the form today. Please, I'm begging. I know do shakara, na beg I dey beg. Complete the form if you have any of the PMI certifications. Okay, so I do this every Monday. 6:30 to 7:30, thereabout. And I think I'll be doing a topic related specifically to PMP next week by God's grace. I also shared the link to I shared the process on how you can download the PMBOK 8th edition's table of content, to make you appreciate. Hey, you can see the link. Alaji, I've posted the link again. Can you see it now? I mean, for the focuses toward the. Oh, when is the next class? I've not scheduled any yet. We have one ongoing currently, so I need to find out when, probably next year. And you don't want to enjoy Christmas, Nick. Oh, but Nahini, I really love the way this question you asked. Anytime you are asked to provide an ID for certificate for PDU, is your PMI ID. The moment you put the PMI, so for instance, for someone like me, I have 6 PMI certifications. Which of the certification ID will I put there? When I give my PMI ID, it will pull up all my certifications and they would assign the corresponding PDUs to them. So it's your PMI ID, never your certifications ID. Your certifications ID is actually someone else's PMI ID somewhere. So, when you put your PMP ID or your other certification, someone else will take the PDU. But now, because PMI wants us to fill a CSV form, your first name, your last name. That's why some people will give name like me like this. My name on my national ID is Bridget Jumoke Yalafewa. So if I want to give my name for PMI ID, I have to give those names. But if I wrote Jumoke Lafewa, it's someone else. It's just that I've searched. It looks like I'm the only Lafewa. I'm the only Lafewa that's a member of PMI. So I may get it. You understand? So it's your PMI ID and your name as you have it with PMI. That's what you should use. For those that are interested in the 4 courses, I want to register for the 4 courses. Let's have this conversation afterwards. I'm sure you have my WhatsApp number, but I can put it here. You don't wear glasses, you are blessed too. So see the way we are struggling. Yeah, so this is how people will say training, you put the training, they will not register. So if you are interested, let me know, then I'll put you together and then schedule, see whether we can even have a session for you this year before the year runs, to an end. It's just that you need to appreciate the amount that is involved. As for the money for the 4 modules, you have to pay to have that. We pay for you, we send you the link, you will download it yourself, and then you start the training. And then once you finish, we go through the application, you receive the approval, that's when you can pay for the exam, then you prepare for the exam. And let me be frank with you, you don't need more than 2 weeks to study for any of the PMI certification. I'm talking from experience. You don't need more than two weeks. Now, all you need to do is to go over the course. Let's say the training, the 4 modules we are talking about. Okay. Hey, is this the same Olubumi that I've been chatting with? Yeah. All you need to do is to do the course. Once you finish the course, now begin the solve questions. Because it is solving questions that exposes what you have here, whether you have enough information. All right, Bumi, I did for you. Like, because when you answer, you get it wrong, you start to question yourself, how come? And the moment you start asking yourself, how come, you don't forget the outcome, how come and what the answer is. So you can use 2 weeks to do this. You answer question, you review it to know what the right answers are. You ask questions, you assess yourself. And when you are writing any of the PMIs or any certifications, as it were, because I also have other certifications that are not from PMI, just that I'm loyal to PMI. Adeyemi, this question you ask now, money now. Now, if you pay money, you go get the questions now, is that you have to surround yourself continuously with the course that you're about to write the exam. You don't go 2-3 days without doing anything about the course. You have to study, go to washroom, you are going to do major. Don't just go and do like this 10 minutes. You're just looking into the sky. You are not counting the tiles in your washroom. No, that 10 minutes can do something. I mean, write something on your paper, put on your phone, and download the guide, and start reading, asking questions. Look for somebody that is also doing the course. Join these groups that I have said constantly. Even you start using the terms because they become so much part of you. That is better than just doing it. Hey, I'm going to write it. Oh, I'm even there. Let me do it tomorrow. No. So discipline, commitment, sacrifice. 2 weeks, you are good to go. I've never prepared for any exam more than 2 weeks. I've never. And the more you do, you will be seeing a bit of this there. A bit, like currently I'm looking at sustainability, whether to do it or not. And I'm seeing change. I'm seeing, like the things and that is why I say that your foundation should be PMP. Apart from running away from money and maybe laziness, you don't want to study, do PMP, and you will have the base. And as you build on the specialized certification, you just be cruising. Be cruising. Yes, any other question? Do you have to pay for the 4 modules at once? So the advantage of you saving that $46 is when you pay for the 4 modules at a go. If you do not do that, then you will pay the equivalent of 346. So you can pay 139 first and then subsequently 69. That is to Toyosi Olaribigbe. Olaribigbe so do me no. Yes, any other question, please? And if you're on this call, because I can see a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians, if you are not a member of your local chapter, please become a member of your local chapter. This is how we can change our countries. So if you don't know how to become a member of any of the chapters, get in touch with me. I will hold your hand like this and present you to a representative in Nigeria chapter, in Ghana chapter, I'm a member of a Togo chapter. So if you are on this call and you are from Togo, let me know. If you are in this call and you are a Liberian, I'm a member of Liberia chapter. I will hold your hand to the President James. If you're on this call and you are from Angola, because I'm also from, I'm a member of Angola chapter, I will hold your hand to Clara, you know, to become a member. And aside that, I also have relationship with other presidents. Maureen of Kenya chapter, I'll hold your hand, you know, and I can link you up with the volunteers in these chapters, and let's support our country to good. Yes. Any other question before we call it a day? I want to say thank you for making time to join this session. Without you, I would not be holding this session. So I'm grateful. I'm not taking it for granted. And if you are writing PMP, please let me know. What I have done previously, they are uploaded on our YouTube, and people have been saying they find it very useful because I could pick quality, talk about quality, solve some questions, you know, and then analyze those questions, you know, and we upload them on the YouTube. So if you are writing PMP, please, you can ask, and then I share the links with you to watch. That is one. Then two, if you have done the 35 contact hour training, please, as much as possible, write the PMP exam. I was looking at my Facebook and I realized that in 2017, I wrote about the exam changing in 2018, and it changed in 2018. That was when they introduced, I think, the 6th edition PMBOK, and then they introduced the 10th knowledge area stakeholders. They broke it, and then they rearranged the processes. Okay, then the exam changed again in 2021, 2nd January. That was when we had the 7th edition. So if you looked at the table of content, you will see that somehow the exam will change a bit. So it's important that you write the exam now, because if the exam change and you have not written the exam, the preparation you've had now cannot write the PMP exam when the exam changes. And if you have also written the exam before and you fail, you say, I only tell people that I failed the exam. Please, I failed PMP twice. I passed on the set. That is why if you told me you failed the exam, it does not, I don't see that you can't write it, because the person talking to you failed the exam twice and I passed on the 3rd sitting. And I passed because somebody introduced simulator to me. And that was when I realized that I was preparing for the exam wrongly. You see what I mean? So you can do it. I'm sorry you failed. It is an unpleasant thing when you fail such exam, but I'm encouraging you that you can pass it. You can pass it. You just need to get over that feelings when you are reading it. But this, I've read it now, I did this thing previously. Just take it as if you don't know it, and you prepare, you intensify your efforts, you know, productively measuring your effort, the outcome. Am I getting to know this better? Because you will be tested on people. People include your team members, your stakeholders, you know, how you relate with them. PMI is looking at you as, I said, whatever your role is in your organization, whether you have the project manager title or not. When you're writing PMP, you have to see yourself as a project manager, as a problem solver, as leading people. You are a servant leader. You are mindful of the emotional states of your people. You are mindful of empowering your team members to deliver. You are mindful of handling and managing your stakeholders to arrive at conclusion. You are mindful of handling your stakeholders to deliver their intended value. You are mindful that whatever you are spending on projects, you are getting value for it. You are mindful that you are helping your team members to stay focused on what the project is to deliver. You are mindful that if it is predictive projects, you do not just carry out changes. You have to document, you have to analyze and present it to the change control board. And there's a change control board that will approve the change. When they approve it, what do? You update the documents. If it is a scope that has increased, and it has impact on cost, on schedule. It has added 2 more weeks to the schedule. It has added $2,000 to the budget. Those things, you have to go to the baselines and update. That's where the version control comes in. So the previous one will be version 1, the updated will become version 2. You update every document that the change that has been accepted has had impact on. Then you have the current document. That is how you change. So no matter how urgent the changes, it's like, let me quickly do it, then I will update. No. You have to go through the process. And if it is adaptive, whether at sprint or agile, it is manifested through the product backlog. When the customer is saying, I want this, I don't want this again, from the review, it will be populated in the product backlog, and then once that is finished, the product owner and the customer will prioritize the product backlog, and it is from there the project team will pick what they are going to work on, and they will deliver. So that is how change is handled in adaptive. And also, when it comes to value creation, for predictive, you have it in the requirements you collected. Then you have a requirement list, and then the requirement list will help you to define or plan your scope. And from there, you'll be able to create your WBS, the work breakdown structure. And then you have your work packages, and then you break your work packages down into the activities, and then you estimate these activities. Then you aggregate the estimation for cost, estimation for time. Then you can have the time for the project. And then from the activity list, you can construct your network diagram. That's where you get the critical part. That is how you handle the predictive. For adaptive, it is from the feedback. It is from the velocity of the team, how many story points they can complete in their iteration. That is what spells their velocity. So it's important when you are reading the question to situate the question quickly. If you are told in an agile, then you know it's adaptive. But if you are not told, you have to read the question and determine, is it agile? Is it predictive? Okay, when it's talking about extensive planning at the beginning of the project, it cannot be adaptive, it's predictive. If you are seeing product backlog, you are seeing product owner, you are seeing team lead, then it may be adaptive or hybrid, because hybrid has gotten components of adaptive in it. So these are the things you need to do quickly. And then you need to find out, this question, is it asking me to solve this problem? That what should I have done to avoid this situation? Or what will I do now that this situation has occurred? Before you start answering, don't be in a hurry. Read your question from beginning to the end. Even when you start and say, oh, I know what they're asking, just tell yourself, relax. When I'm writing an exam, I'm talking to myself, relax. Because I'm a very, very restless and impatient person. So even when I'm reading Bible, I sometimes skip. I say, okay, this one is Bible, now go back. Then I go back. That's why I love audio Bible a lot, So read the question from beginning to the end. When you start reading the option, please, even if you feel A is the answer, tell yourself, hold on, read option B, option C, option D, and then confirm that A is the answer before you pick it. So don't be too much in a hurry. So you can do it. I believe, it's not that I believe, I know you can do it. Just put in some small work. Get someone that when you are down would motivate you. We've got this together. So it is very, very easy for me to motivate people because I know how I felt when I failed the exam. But I'm just letting, it's not that it's a good thing, no. I'm an engineer. When they ask me to come for exam prep, I say, no way, exam prep, me, spend money. What are they asking? Calculation itself no reach 5%. Why will I go and pay extra money for exam prep? That was why I didn't pay when I failed, So, so things can make you fail. And when I started using the simulator, I realized that by default setting, I was answering the questions how I was managing projects in my organization. And the way we're managing projects in my organization is not the standard. And so I understood why I failed, So I hope what I've said has motivated someone, you, that you can do it. Don't give up. You can do it. So God bless you. Is there any other question before we call it a day? Okay. Thank you very much for making it here today. Let's meet again next week by God's grace. God bless you. You can do it.
Thank you, Joake. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.